You've probably heard of Clicker. It might have come up in a training session, perhaps it's been mentioned in a primary context, or maybe it's appeared in one of those software lists that somebody once sent around. But if you're not entirely sure what it does, or whether it's relevant beyond Key Stage 1, you're not alone, and that's what I want to tackle today. Clicker is developed by Crick Software. That's a bit of a mouthful. Crick and click is really difficult to say. It's a writing support tool, yes, but more than that, it's a smart example of adaptive teaching. There's a buzzword for you. It gives you adaptive teaching in practice. It gives you the means to meet the learners where they are while still holding them to the same curriculum expectations. It's inclusive, it's flexible, and it actually is quite easy to use once you get past that assumption that it's just for little kids. We start with the basics. Clicker helps students write. That's it. But it helps them write better. It gives them independence. There's less chance of anxiety that comes with a blank page, and it does it through several built-in support systems. So we've got text to speech, we've got word prediction, we've got writing frames, and we've got visual scaffolding. All of those are examples of adaptive teaching tools that adjust the level of support without diluting the task. If we take the text-to-speech function, as the students type, Clicker reads their words out loud to them. It's immediate feedback, supports their proofreading, gives them that fluency, just gives them that confidence to carry on going. For many students, hearing their own writing read back to them helps them to identify errors or awkward phrasing they'd otherwise miss. Let's face it, loads of us have written something but then can't spot our own mistakes in things. Hearing somebody else read it just really helps us. The word prediction and the sentence starters are particularly useful for students who struggle with beginning or sustaining their writing. It doesn't write for them. It just gives them a prompt or a nudge in the right direction. And again, that's adaptive teaching in practice, scaffolding the process so that they can access the same outcomes as their peers. Clicker also includes a feature called Pictorize, which kind of automatically adds visual symbols to support the understanding of the text. And this is really useful for students with processing difficulties, our EAL learners, and those who just benefit from dual coding. Let's face it, that's everybody. If your school uses Widgit, by a different company, Clicker integrates with that seamlessly, offering a much wider symbol library than just tailored support. Planning tools are built in as well. The students can create graphic organisers, storyboards, and mind maps. Again, great for helping them structure their thinking in subjects like English, history, or even science. Again, another form of adaptive teaching. We very often talk about use the graphic organiser with our students or use a mind map. This is a tool for doing that. We're not changing what they're learning, we're just giving them a different way into the learning. From a teacher perspective, there's a really thoughtful feature called the analytics tool. Teachers can see what's been written independently, what's used prediction, and how often the students relied on the support tools. Now that's really invaluable for progress tracking, and it gives us a genuine insight into how the learner is engaging with the task, not just the final product. Let's talk about context. In schools, we're often asked to raise outcomes and reduce gaps. Well, Clicker helps us with that by supporting not just students with EHCPs, but also those working just below expected levels, or those who've never quite grasped how to get started. Perhaps are absent one lesson and just need the vocabulary there to support them. It's a whole class tool with particular benefit for students who have dyslexia or ADHD or autism or their EAL. But it's equally valid for any learner who needs some structured support without labelling them in the process. And let's face it, we don't have enough TAs to support all of our students. We need to use the technology to do some of that role for us. It aligns really well with the DfE's definition of adaptive teaching. It allows you to vary that level of structure, reduce the cognitive load, words are there, and present information in multiple formats. And crucially, you can do it without rewriting your scheme of work or having to create separate resources for every student. Gone are the days of having to write 5 different worksheets. Now, if you're concerned about time or training, Crick has got that covered for you too. There's a bank of ready-made templates, video tutorials, and classroom resources. You don't have to be a tech wizard. You just need to be open to trying something that might make a real difference. So if Clicker's available in your school, but gathering a bit of digital dust, or if it's been pigeonholed as a primary tool, think again. You need to revisit it. And if you don't have it already, put it on that purchase order list for next year. Think of it not as an intervention, but as a classroom strategy, and one that fits beautifully into this push for adaptive teaching within our classrooms. And if you're a secondary school listening to me, it's just as useful in a secondary school as it is with those younger children in primary schools. Thank you for listening.